Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, again, I totally forgot. Ready? Okay. This is going to be a good show.
Welcome
All
to
right,
Smack Talk Gaming.
there we go. Hey YouTube, and welcome to Smack Talk Gaming, the channel where we talk about retro and next-gen gaming and everything in between. I'm
In between.
in between. My name is Krishna, and I put the K in Smack Talk Gaming. And joining me today is Mr. Shaun Carolan, who puts the S in Smack Talk Gaming.
Hello, everybody.
Shaun, how's it going today?
Good. I got you up extra early today because I
Your
got things to do.
Your goal in life is to ruin my Saturdays. That's what it is.
Well, you know, and I love that beginning. The music, the video,
Great.
content. I love it. I
And
can't wait.
speaking of
wait to see
content,
it.
if this is
Oh,
your
yes.
first time here, please consider subscribing to our channel. Our channel is fairly new,
Yeah.
right? Hitting that like button or hitting the dislike button. Like we accept
No dislike. No, come on.
constructive criticism, and also leaving a comment so we know what we can
Yes.
fix. When we can fix it. Just
Fix.
quickly before we begin today's show, I just want to let everyone know that I will leave time codes or timestamps in the description below. So if you want to skip to anything that we were discussing today, just go ahead and do so.
Finally.
Yeah, I try. I'm only at 1 minute. So Shaun, quick question
Yes.
for you.
Sorry.
What have you been playing this week?
I've very recently been playing Pikmin 3 demo.
Oh, how was that?
It's good. It's really good, actually. I haven't played Pikmin in so long that
Mhm.
I kind of forgot about it, and I think I might buy it, actually.
Ooh, so for the audience that are not familiar with Pikmin, could you please give us a quick synopsis of what
Who
Pikmin
isn't familiar with Pikmin? Well, basically, you're Krishna. You're this. There's 3 little astronaut guys. The first one there is one, and then you kind of found your buddies. This one, they do like a couple separate stories, it seems like right now.
Okay.
The little bit I played. And of course, everyone just crashes on this little planet with the Pikmin. And then you find the first guy finds yellow Pikmin, and then it cuts to like a different scene where it's the different little spaceman, and he finds red Pikmin, and then the other guy will find blue Pikmin. And you work all your Pikmin together, and you throw them at things, and they'll destroy stuff or they'll build things. And depending on the Pikmin, if you throw like the red ones into, say, I don't know, water, they'll just drown. And you'll be like, what have I done? I killed my Pikmin. And there's little ghosts. They go, ooh. I don't know if this explains anything, but
I'm totally glad that your explanation totally did not sell me on this game. But
what? No, and then and you work all the different color-coded Pikmin to like solve puzzles. It's a puzzle game, but it's adorable with the little Pikmins.
And it's a really popular game. I remember when I think the first one came out for the GameCube. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. So
I played that one a lot. That one was like.
I need to go back and revisit some of these games because I feel like
good.
I missed out on some of these gems. I should say
they are hidden diamonds in the rough.
Diamonds in the rough. So I will go back and
as
check
Aladdin
it out.
would tell me.
Oh, Aladdin.
I don't know. I was gonna say something and I completely forgot. Never mind.
That's right.
About Pikmin. You'll never know. You'll never know.
We do record this in one shot, as you can tell. So yeah, for me, I have been playing a little bit of Mario. And
what have you been playing, Krishna?
So I tried out Mario 35, right? The new game.
Oh yes. What do you think about that?
It's interesting. I do like it. I do kind of think it's kind of like a Tetris Mario game kind of thing. It is fun. I haven't won any matches yet. I've been totally getting my butt whipped. My buddy is absolutely loving it, obviously because he's winning.
Oh yeah, eh?
Yeah, he's winning, so of course he's loving it.
Winning.
Winning. And I've been playing a bit of Mario 3D All Stars, which I do have a little take on that in a little bit. But before we get into that, let's
Do
jump
you
in.
know? Quick question.
What's
Do you
that?
know how many stars you have in 64?
Yes, I can tell you exactly how many stars I have in 64.
How many?
0, because I haven't started playing 64 yet. Okay. I will start playing it this week. How's that?
Yeah.
And next
Finally, next week, Krishna's gonna tell you that he got at least 10 stars in the game,
week, and
which you can do by falling down in Mario 64. So
and there are reasons why
why
I
what?
will be playing Mario 64 on the Nintendo Switch. I was going to say 3DS, but we'll get into that in a second. First off, before we start any of
Sorry.
our cool news topics this week, we have one thing we want to talk about quickly. We don't want to
What's
harp on it, but remember last week, Shaun, we talked about Spider-Man Reface.
Oh yes.
Right.
Yes.
Remember we talked about, we weren't like, you didn't play the Spider-Man game. I did.
I did.
And I thought that the change for the new Spider-Man model wasn't needed. It was unnecessary and kind of dumb. Anyways, I got over it because I'm an adult and really it's a game. I'm okay with that. However, there are some people on the interweb who took this very personally, to the point where they sent death threats to the actual director of the Spider-Man game. Yes.
That is ridiculous.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Here,
That's
here,
just that's when you need a. I apologize for anyone that gets upset, but that's when you need a life because
that's the thing. Like, I mean, here at Smack Talk Gaming, obviously we like to talk smack to each other. We're friends. We like to, as we're playing games, we throw insults at each other. It's just we're just joking around. However, at no point are we going to get upset to the point where we're sending death threats to people because we
right?
are upset with a change that was made in a game, right? It's like sending death threats. The same thing happens in movies, right? Where people they don't like the casting or something like that, and they send death threats to the director. Guys, there's a simple way of a simple solution to this. If you don't like it, don't play it.
Harder than it sounds, though, right?
Is it
Sounds
though?
easy, but if you really love the game, yeah, those people that send death threats are unfortunately so passionate about the game that they're getting this upset about it, right?
Yeah,
Maybe the wrong way to go about it, of course.
yeah.
But I do understand the passion behind it. And there's a thing called change.org. You got to sign your petitions. You got to get everyone together and then force them to put DLC out or something, right?
Which is okay though, right? That's
that's the better way to do it.
By doing that's like protesting, but calmly protesting, right? Non-violent ways. It's simply
this gets nothing. This
it doesn't
pretty much gets the opposite effect, right? They're gonna look at it and go, "This is silly. I'm not doing nothing."
And the funny part, well, not the funny part. I guess the part that this came out because the director actually released a statement on Twitter saying, "Guys, I understand you may not like the changes, but sending threats saying that you're gonna find me, and it's unnecessary, right?" So here at Smack Talk, we really don't like stuff like that. So guys, come on, just
silly.
Yeah, it's silly.
Let's three of you stop it.
Yeah, I mean, you got a great game. What's the point of arguing the way you're arguing? So yeah, I
understand the passion, but the energy behind it's going nowhere. It's
unnecessary,
right?
Cool. So moving on, Shaun. Let's forget about that garbage. Moving on.
Clear my chakras. Okay.
About a couple minutes ago, I was talking about, or you kind of like called me out on not playing Mario 64.
Yes.
In last week's episode.
Don't send me a threat.
Oh, I'm going to send you a couple threats. In last week's episode, you actually pulled out the DS version of Mario 64. Where you actually said that was the best version of Mario 64. Can you confirm or deny this?
Almost the best.
Okay, so what's the best version?
I think the original's the best version. The one on the 64, I don't know why, but I feel like it played slightly different in my rose-colored glasses.
Yeah. No, you're right.
With the 64 analog, I don't know. For some reason, it felt like I could creep with Mario and walk and run the way you're supposed to.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Switch one like kind of is a little too all or nothing. I have a hard time creeping for some reason. That
That's
just
fair.
might be the stick. I don't know.
That's actually a very good assessment. The reason I bring this up, Sean, is because yesterday
Oh.
night I watched a video from the guys at My Life in Gaming. You should check it out if you have a chance.
Okay.
And they go through the best way to play Super Mario 64. And you are
Oh
correct.
yeah.
You are correct. The best way, the absolute best way to play it is playing the original, right?
Right.
Do I know what the second best way to play it, or almost like the 1B way to play it?
I want to say if it's not counting weird PC ports and
Not kind of the
illegalness,
word.
right?
Yeah,
I want to say the Switch.
you are 100% correct. The Switch is the second best way to play Mario 64. And the reason it's the second best way is because the controls are almost exactly accurate as it was on the 64. What you should be doing, and I think what you're doing right now, is you're playing on handheld mode, right?
Yes.
Yes, they
Yes.
said if you want to get the almost not authentic, but if you want to get close to the authentic controls, you play on the Pro controller, which we both have,
See,
right?
I haven't been on. Yeah, I haven't played 64 on the big screen yet, so I haven't played with the Pro controller.
Well, and I remember we had looked at just some screenshots and what you were showing us on the DS version of Mario 64, and what they actually said was when they did Mario 64 for the DS, they actually redid some of the animations, the way Mario looked. Obviously, they added Yoshi, they added,
Yeah.
but they almost called it. They didn't say this, but the way that I'm interpreting this, it's almost like a gimmick. They're trying to cover things that they couldn't do with the DS version. And it turned out that the DS controls were absolutely just atrocious.
That's the big
Yeah.
thing that holds it back is that friggin' hold down Y to
Yep.
run. It doesn't work.
Yeah. So with that, because of that awesome video, again, if you have a chance, check it out. It's called Best Way to Play Super Mario 64 or something like that.
Krishna will leave a link down below.
I will leave a link to the My Life in Gaming channel. These guys are awesome, and yeah, it's everything from the way that they actually showed side by side comparisons from the graphics. Because when we played 64
Ooh,
back
now I
in
want to see that
yeah
more.
yeah when we played 64 back in our heyday,
Yeah.
when we were younger,
Heyday.
um, we had those as you call them rose-colored glasses on, right?
Right.
Where everything looked great to us, but even at
Right.
that age, we're like, it didn't look that great. But when you see the
It
side by
looked
side comparisons, you actually see the fact that they took Mario 64 from what exactly it was, even though
Yeah.
this is more of an emulation than a port. It looks like it's brighter, it's crisper, the colors pop. It just looks
Right.
better on the Switch, and that's why after watching that video, I'm like, you know what, Sean's right. I need to play this game, and everyone's saying this game is like one of the best games, period. Right? So
It is.
I need to
It's one
finish
of
this.
those, you go to a museum to see
Mhm.
fine art and everyone's like, you got to check out whatever, Mona Lisa or something, right? It's like that. You got to play Mario,
Gotta play
whether,
Mario.
with all its flaws, you got to play it
Mhm.
just to live the history of this was the first like full 3D, almost full 3D.
Well,
The
let's say
camera's kind of stuck, but it's pretty much full
it,
3D,
it is the first one of the
right?
first games that implemented the first 3D camera that you can move around and
Right?
stuff like that. So and Mario's almost like an open world sandbox he was in, right?
Right.
So that was fantastic. And watching that video made me want to play this game even more. So I'm actually gonna stop playing Galaxy for a bit. I'm gonna
Oh,
finish 64, and then you
right.
and I are gonna review that game. Sound good?
Excellent. I
Perfect.
love it.
So now, seeing how
Yeah.
we're on Nintendo, this week there was
Oh,
a Nintendo Treehouse special. Now, if anyone doesn't know what a
yeah.
Treehouse special is, it's like a little kind of like Nintendo Direct that they have where
Nintendo Treehouse. Is that how
is
it
that,
goes?
is that the song?
No.
Or just make it up? All right, hey,
Maybe
hey,
I
you know
might be.
what? I didn't watch it, so I'm assuming you didn't make it up.
Nah,
That's
yeah, I
exactly what it
don't.
is.
No, I don't. They sing at the beginning. I know they do. Nintendo Treehouse.
And one thing that they did talk about was Pikmin 3 Deluxe, which you actually said you just played,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And you're
I've been
super
playing
excited
it.
for that.
And it's bringing back my love for the Pikmin. And it makes me a little sad that they didn't do like a Mario style triple pack. I would have loved to play 1, 2, and 3 all together.
Yeah.
For $79.99.
For $79.99 plus.
But you only
taxes.
get one for $79.99, so it's kind of sad.
Oh yeah, that's not the greatest. But then again, it is Nintendo.
Yeah.
But another game that they showcased during this special was
yes.
I get it right. Yes, Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. Shaun,
Yes.
What is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity?
So, well, Hyrule Warriors is basically this. I want to say, like, I feel like it's a run and gun game. Like,
sorry, can I cut you off for 1 second?
Sure.
1 quick second. Guys, I'm trying to be a grown up today. I'm drinking my coffee. It's not really coffee. It's actually blue Powerade. So as I'm talking,
I'm drinking coffee.
My tongue will probably go blue the entire show, but I'm pretending like I'm drinking some coffee.
We're gonna talk about a Smurfs game.
Some good Joe. Sorry, please continue.
But yeah, it's like kind of like a run and gun game. I feel like where you have like 100 enemies on screen, and then you have. Well, the original was just, I don't even know the characters, but they turned into a Zelda franchise now.
Yeah.
This is the second one, right?
It is. I think the first one was called Hyrule Warriors. Is that what it was called?
Right.
Right. And it's based on the, and I'm not, I don't want to say that it's the same developer. It probably is the same developer, but it's probably not.
I think you're right. No, I think it is.
No, it is the same developer.
Right?
But what I mean is this is based on the Dynasty Warriors series, right? And if anyone's ever played Dynasty Warriors, it's a game where it's 1 versus 100 or so, right? Right. And you jump in and you do some cool moves, and it's like you versus an onslaught just continuously coming at you.
Right, army of people, and then you get like a million little bonuses at the end, right?
Exactly, and that the game is like
very arcadey, I guess. Right?
Exactly, very arcadey. A game like that, actually, to me, like I never really got into them. Like I like them; they're okay for like
that's
a few minutes, right?
Played at other people's places.
Houses. But now that this is Zelda, I'm more interested than I was, right?
Yeah, even though there was like it was the DLC add-on, right? For Dynasty Warriors, they had Link in it.
They may have had Link.
I think that was the 3DS one they had.
Okay.
And even when they had that, I was kind of like, that's cool, but
yeah.
But now that it's like the Age of Calamity is like a full story of 100 years before Breath of the Wild, right? So that actually is like, okay, now you got me finally hooked. Right?
Well, and that's you hit the nail right in the head. Like that's the whole thing, right? It's they're legitimately telling the story that happened prior to Breath of the Wild, which is considered arguably one of the best Zelda games, if not the best Zelda game ever made. Like let's be real here.
I think it is. I think.
Right. And I
still go back to that game, right?
Yeah, well, so do I. I still play that game, and the thing is that if you haven't played the game, spoiler alerts, and I don't know why you would never play this game if you don't have a Switch, but
crazy.
The game picks up 100 years later after the Calamity, where Link wakes up. He wakes up 100 years, and your quest is to now go on, and you're meeting everyone who you used to know 100 years ago. They're older and stuff like that, and it's a very, very well told story, but they never really get into what happened during the Calamity, right?
Right.
And this is a fully fleshed out, like the cutscenes look fantastic. The apparently they use the assets from the Breath of the Wild game, so the character models are on point.
You can tell, right?
Right.
And I'm was actually like kind of shocked that they could get so many characters on screen and still use the Breath of the Wild Hyrule, right? Because I was thinking, they're probably gonna have to dumb everything down, right? But it looks good, right? Power programming, I guess, right?
It looks like, again, I've never been excited for a Dynasty Warriors game. I am excited for this game. Like, think about it. We're getting a Zelda game, like legit Zelda game.
And you can play Zelda.
You can play as Zelda. You can play as all of the I forget what they're called now, the heroes or whatever they're called.
That were Heroes of Time.
The Guardians or
I want to say the Heroes of Time. That's at 64.
But watching them do their moves, it's visually striking. It looks
Right?
great, and it's coming out, I believe, November or December. It's coming out, right?
Is it that
And
soon?
it's this year. It's coming out this year. That's what I mean. There you go. So Shaun, you better start saving up that money because we got
Right?
a lot of gaming coming.
Well, I just, I bought this little beauty right here.
So
So
that's is that the Animal Crossing version?
that is the Animal Crossing version.
That's pretty cool.
Nice, eh? It's got the
Wow.
white on the back.
Yeah.
Quick side note that's not in your news broadcast.
What's up?
Animal Crossing, your saves for your island, they're tied into the system.
So you can't, it's not your profile, so you can't play it on another system?
So I ported over all my information, all Allison's information last night onto the new Switch. I can't port over my island save. So all the stuff on my island stuck on an island of my original Switch.
Really? So there's no way around it?
Well, apparently what I did last night is that you have to go through customer support.
Okay.
And send a ticket to Nintendo with your what is it, the serial number on the bottom of the Switch you own and the new Switch. And I said I want to transfer over my island. So well, hopefully they can do that, because they kept on saying that only broken or damaged Switches you're able to port over your island to a new Switch. It's like, well, I bought a new Switch and I want to port over my island because I put like 200 hours into this island. So I don't want to.
Silly.
Yeah,
that's just silly.
I was like, Nintendo, they do good stuff, but then when they do weird stuff, it's really weird, right?
Well, speaking of buying a new Switch,
my island's stuck on an island. So.
Well, speaking of buying a new Switch, Shaun, and
bought
this
one.
is a great segue. No, I did not buy a new Switch. I did
Oh.
not. There are rumors about that Switch Pro going around, and Shaun, can you tell us why?
Yes.
Where did these rumors come from?
These rumors came from Capcom.
Okay.
Apparently, they were displaying was it Monster Hunter World? I want to say Worlds. I'm not sure.
It's something like that. It's a Monster Hunter game.
But they were showing it off, and someone, I guess, was looking at it and said, "Is this from the Switch Pro? Because the graphics look too good. They look better than a Switch." And then Capcom just kind of, I don't know, would they say something skirted around the issue, right?
Well, Capcom said, no, this is on a Nintendo Switch, and that's really all we can say about that.
Yeah, that's all we can say about that at this time, right?
Yep.
Which means
something's up.
Well, yeah, it might be playing on a dev kit of a Switch, maybe, but it's probably got the Pro features stuck in there too, and they're like, oh, we forgot to turn those off.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess first of all, knowing that, okay, maybe this is what they're gearing towards a Switch Pro. I'm kind of hoping they put a little bit more into it. I hope this was just kind of like a test run, because it looked good, but I don't know if I were like, oh wow, I can tell that's a Switch Pro, right? Exactly. Apparently there was little things that you can tell, but I want a little more. If you're going to make a Switch Pro, I need a little more like, okay, I see. Ooh, I like this.
I agree. I think if they're going to release a Switch Pro to potentially go up against the next gen systems, you need to have something that's going to sell. Yeah, the Switch is great. The Switch is absolutely fantastic. But as gamers like we are, I mean, what's really going to set the Pro aside from the regular version, right?
And talking about that, sorry, just popped in my head. Was it NVIDIA? They got the AI graphic upgrading for 4K.
Yeah.
All with AI technology. So, I mean, I hope they put that in the Switch. That actually made me excited. As like, that would be nice in the Switch Pro to put their knowledge of AI in there to just like,
so you mean
up-res everything to 4K.
Well, and I think that's kind of like what everyone's looking for, like an upgrade to the graphics, not an upgrade to the graphics,
Right.
but more of an upgrade to the resolution, I should say.
Right.
Going from, because I think most Switch games run at 720p natively,
Yeah.
and then they're upscaled to 1080. It would be nice to have it natively run at 4K or 1080p, like getting
Right.
those crisp visuals. I'm with you. Having better support for audio, like Bluetooth audio or something for a handheld. Come on, guys.
Yeah,
Come on.
that's kind of annoying. I don't know why they're doing that, but
But hey, you know what? Nintendo may surprise us. Again, it looks as if there is a Switch Pro, it's probably going to be released around March 2021, which is when the original Switch was released in March of, I think, 2015.
March 18th of 2018,
2018, there you
maybe.
go, or 17 or something like that, right? So that is something that I would be interested in, but I'm also kind of thinking, like, I'm so caught up with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X
Oh boy,
that right now
God.
that
That's
right now
fine.
I
I better
I'd be
plug in my
happy. I'd be happy to see the the actual new Switch or play the new Switch, but
right.
it's not something that I need right now. You know what I mean?
What?
Hey, we don't need it right now. We have a lot of things coming out, and plus,
No,
my
I need. Well, okay, I don't need it now, but here I got to plug this in for a sec.
all right, do that while Shaun plugs in his headset, which he should have
This is what
charged
happens when you don't
yesterday.
edit. This is what
Yeah,
happens when you don't
what happens when you
edit.
don't edit? Hey guys,
There we
we
go.
we are
I'm
real.
in.
We're real, right?
We're
Um,
real. I got to
so
plug things in once in a while, you know.
plugs. What are those? As I have a gigantic plug sticking right out of my headset. So speaking of that, so Switch Pro, is it
Sec.
real? Is it not? Is it not? Maybe,
Right.
right?
And
Um,
talking about up-resing and high fidelity, this segues into our Xbox Series X YouTube
that
test.
good job there, Shaun. So yeah, so about I think it's been about a week and a half, 2 weeks now,
Yeah.
where the Xbox, I don't want to say an Xbox dev kit, but an Xbox Series X was actually released or
Beta.
provided.
Beta
I guess a
system.
beta, sure. It was provided to for some YouTubers
Might be
for
right.
review. They the weird thing is that they didn't show us any of the interface. Something that's going to come up a few times here. No interface.
That's kind of sad.
Right? And but I'm assuming it's going to look just like the regular Xbox
Right.
interface.
You
And
don't
no
know.
new gameplay. It was all gameplay based around older games. So all the
Right.
YouTubers are going through. They were they were playing their older games. They're showing the load times. They were showing the game suspension and their quick resume. And the fact that uh, the Xbox Series X, it will try to make the game run smoother with like 60 frames per second and so forth. But obviously it can't
Butter.
work. It can't work magic. It's not going to change the
Oh, it
graphics
can
anyways.
change it.
So Sean, what are
It will
you
change everything.
excited for the
For
Xbox
what?
Series X?
Unfortunately,
Mhm.
not really anything. The only thing I am excited for is that they're doing like full backwards compatibility. That's
Okay.
like the big thing. But honestly, like games, I haven't really even thought about it because I'm not even with the PS5, I'm not really thinking of purchasing either right away. So I haven't really thought of like any games that excite me and be like,
Well,
they put a new wrestling game in maybe. But
yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
not
The
2K one. I mean,
old
like,
school
yeah,
wrestling, THQ
right.
and the AKI games. That's right.
Imagine Xbox had the AKI wrestling games for Xbox like OG,
Even if they release like
right?
clips of them,
If they had them right now, we could upres them on the Series X. I would buy it. I would have bought it.
same.
They missed out. They missed out.
Agree. Well, we spoke about the Switch earlier today, how they did do a really good emulation of Super Mario 64.
Right?
So it looks like it is possible, right?
It's possible, but
But you know what? For me, I think looking at the reviews of the Xbox Series X,
yeah.
it the one thing that sticks out to me the most, and you're right, for gaming wise, like games are coming out specifically for Xbox. I'm not really excited for anything because, as we know, Halo, the system killer, was pushed
Yeah.
back. Right, it was pushed back till next year. So
Right.
You know, that was supposed to be
That
a
kind of
release.
sucks for them.
It does suck for them. But I think for me, and something I didn't even realize, that the amount of games that you can quick suspend on the actual system itself. So
Yeah.
I was watching this one guy. He's playing one game, then he hit the Xbox button or whatever, and it suspended the game.
Yeah.
Open another game, starts playing it. Now with the PS4 and stuff like that, for the most part, when you do that, it closes the previous application and then
Yeah.
opens the new application. Right? That's how things work. I believe I saw up to 5 or 6 games. Now I don't know when you'd ever need this game, but
Right.
but at least, can you imagine like where we've come? Like the fact that we can actually suspend these games at one time and then quick resume them back and forth. There's no need to save or anything like that.
This might be a whole new venue for YouTubers, though.
That's true. That's very, very true.
Playing like 2 to 3 games all at the same time, trying to speed run them all.
That would be a little bit insane, right? That would be absolutely insane. But yeah, I think that, like from what I've seen,
Yeah.
The technology behind these new systems, fantastic. Like they
Right.
they are next gen. From the games aspect for Xbox, I'm sorry, Xbox, right now, I'm just not pulled in.
Right. There's not that one game that
Mhm.
everyone's talking about, right?
Yep. But
Which
there is,
was Halo back in the day.
well, the killer app is always Halo and
Right.
Gears of War, right? That's
Right.
their killer
Yeah.
apps. But there is one thing I do like that I will hold a little bit till the end of the episode to talk about. But that's what I'm
Always
impressed with
holding back.
it's going to make sense. It's going to make sense. Um, so there was no PS5 news this week. It's just dead silence, nothing new that came out with PS5.
Yeah.
So we're gonna skip over PS5. I'm just kidding. So this
It's
week,
gone.
this
I don't
week,
want to see it.
Sony released a video. It's about a 10-minute video,
Yeah.
basically breaking down the PS5. They actually took it apart fully,
Right.
right? So one of the video, again, check it out. It's actually it's really fun to watch because you see a lot of things people had predicted is actually happening with the PS5. One thing that really surprised me. So again, it starts off and the guy pulls off the sides of the PS5,
Yes. That
right?
that was
Uh,
my favorite part of the whole thing.
well, it opens up
Those
the
ugly white
oh,
collars.
I love them.
Pop 'em
I
off.
absolutely love them. But
How can you love them?
because it just looks sleek. I need a new router, so I figured that I can use it as a gigantic router. But if you think about it, it's kind of like it's opened up. Like even if Sony doesn't release their own first party shells, right? Because
It'd
really,
be silly not to, but
it's all about customization, right? So they're
yeah.
gonna probably release a Miles Morales, God of
Right.
War. People are gonna, it's got the old Xbox 360 faceplates, right?
Yeah.
Think about it. Third-party companies are gonna do it
Oh yeah.
regardless, right? And it's so like if the guy he popped it out and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like you're able to pop it out and you look inside. There's actually a dust collector. There's actually a
What?
spot in the PS5 where it
I
collects
didn't
the
see that.
dust where they encourage you to go in and vacuum it out. Yeah,
Oh,
so they're like, for
very
obviously
nice.
to keep the system clean and running
Right?
smoothly, clean that out. They actually showed you the bottom of the stand. Sorry, at the bottom of the PS5 where the stand goes, it's actually screwed in,
Oh yeah, I
right?
saw that.
Right?
A lot
So
of a lot of little things they're doing, eh? A
right,
little finesse. I was
it
like
looks
surprised.
good. I think it looks I think
In hideaway things all nicely
I
and
see.
put the thing.
Listen, the
They thought of a
engineers,
spot for everything, eh, on this thing?
it just it looks, to me, honestly, I'm excited. It looks fantastic. The breakdown is what I needed, right? And now that I've seen it, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a pretty
Right.
big system.
Now you can be excited to be vacuuming it out every week.
Every 2 days. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I'm
Playing no
excited.
games.
Playing no games, absolutely nothing. But
But sorry.
I love that you said playing no games, because Sony also released one other thing as well.
What? What?
They released a breakdown of the backwards compatibility.
And it's fully backwards compatible like
One
Xbox.
million percent wrong.
Oh,
So it's not. And that's one thing that's what I was trying to say earlier about the Xbox. There was one thing I want to talk about. The one thing I love about Xbox, even if you don't use the feature,
Yeah.
you are able to go 100% backwards compatible. That means you can go and look at an Xbox, or you can play an Xbox original Xbox game on the Xbox Series X, and it'll work. It'll
Right.
work, right? Whereas with the PS5, unfortunately, it's 99% compatible with only PS4 games.
Which is good. Like, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people probably won't be getting older games than PS4 to play on their system
Mhm.
unless they're just downloading them,
Mhm.
which I understand, right?
Well,
But it's nice to have the option, right?
agreed. You know, it's not the worst. It could be worse. It could be like the PS4 and say like, nope, nothing backwards compatible, right?
Right.
One thing that they did say in the blog that they released was the fact that um, it almost made it seem that if you already own digital games, and if you only own digital games, then yes, the digital version is the best version for you.
Yeah.
However, if you have physical copies, then you need to kind of get the disc version of the PS5, because if you don't have the disc version, you're going to miss out on those games, right? Because
Right.
what's going to happen is, if you so the way that they've explained it is, when you sign into your accounts on the PS5, any game that you've downloaded will be there. So you can just
Yeah.
if you have the physical copy, throw the disc in, and then you can play the game using that. Now, some games will be optimized to use PS5 features, I should say. They haven't really gone into full detail. There's like a
Mhm.
game boost. Apparently, there's a higher fidelity with the game, so like frame rate and stuff like that, depending on some games. But the one part I'm kind of a little concerned about is when they
Oh.
talked about the save feature. So I know we talked about saves earlier with Nintendo,
Oh,
right?
save features. Why are these so
Right?
difficult now?
I don't know. I don't know. But
Right.
what they said is what you can technically do is you can hook up like the old school. Remember in old school where you like hook up a LAN cable to two
Oh
systems?
yeah. Yeah.
You can do that. You can also potentially upload it to the cloud and then download it through the PS Plus, right? But the odd comment they made is that it is based on developers. So the developers have the choice whether or
Ah.
not it can be ported or not. So I'm very, very confused. Like, because I think I remember Insomniac saying that the PS4, your
Yeah.
PS4 save will not work on the remastered PS4 version of Spider-Man. Right now,
Yeah.
one can say that, well, technically they're different games now, right? Because they've added more stuff, but that's one thing that I'm not really,
Uh,
really impressed with, right? I
nah, they
kind of,
gotta fix that stuff. Like,
yeah,
I
I
feel
mean,
like it's like being lazy or something. I don't know. Just say like, is it really that hard
well,
to have a say? Like back in the day, with GameCube, right? You had a memory card, plug it in, plug it out, right?
yeah,
You plug
yeah,
in anything you want. Now all of
yeah.
a sudden it's, well, this is tied into a system. This is tied into an account. This is tied into a certain game. It's like,
Mhm.
it's just save data. Save data. We went to video game school. Save data is nothing. Come on.
It's absolutely
I
nothing.
want to. I want the data that proves me wrong that the save data is so special that you can't port it over.
Well, and you know, if you're gonna say that, hey, you know, we don't have we can't do 100% backwards compatibility. And you guys, just to let you guys know, um, when I'm talking about 100% backwards compatibility, there are only 10 games so far that are confirmed not to be working on the PS5, and I've seen the
Well, that's
list.
good.
The list is not the greatest list. Like, and there are over
Oh,
apparently
that's bad.
4,000 games.
You
It's
say
not
10?
10 out of the 4,000, right? So I mean, I'm not really that concerned about it, but
Yeah.
you know what? I guess we're gonna have more follow up this once I do get my PS5, which is, you know, about
Yes.
a month away,
Are you
right?
doing payment plans or how are you doing it?
This is not Xbox, all right? This is where you put down like a $50 payment plan per month or whatever the heck it is. That's so ridiculous. No,
That's
I
smart for people who don't have money.
it is. I agree,
For
but
people
when
who
you
can't buy, Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman statues
like the lower there, those are
just for this YouTube video.
that's my
He's
Trinity
gonna
right
throw them
there.
out tomorrow.
Well, they're already going to the trash can.
He
right
doesn't
there,
even like
folks.
DC. This guy doesn't even like DC.
I'm wearing a Dark Knight shirt. Look at that. But yeah, so with the PS5, like I am,
Yeah.
I do like it. It is the one system I am looking forward to. Now backwards compatibility, like I'm excited now that after the breakdown, I feel like there's gonna be customization. Backwards
Yeah.
compatibility, it kind of seems like PS4 is covered. I'm excited for the Blu-ray drive as well because I do watch the UHDs. Like I do have an awesome surround sound system, so I can't wait to hear that.
Right.
But I guess there's more to come, right? There's more to see soon.
Yeah. Well, they don't want to give it all away, I guess, right?
Perfect. Now, Shaun,
Eh,
before I
oh.
close up today, is there
Yeah,
anything
close
else
shop.
that I may have missed?
What else? What else do we got? I think we're covered. Xbox and PS5 won't show us their UIs.
Yeah, that's just
It's
something
upsetting, but
they're gonna eventually.
right, they will. But I hope they probably won't do radical changes, but that's for another time when we see it. We can talk about it.
When we see it, and
We
then
nitpick them.
and then next week you guys can hear me talk a little bit about
Right.
Mario 64 when I play it.
Yes. Oh yeah, I forgot to update you on my progress.
Oh, what is it?
70 stars. I beat Bowser.
What?
Now I just got to collect the rest of the stars.
All right, that's it. You know what? I'm gonna. My goal this week is to beat Mario 64.
Do you want a pro tip?
What's that?
One pro tip for you.
Do it.
Collect 100 gold coins every level.
Mm-hmm.
You get an extra star.
Really?
Yes.
All right. I am going to make sure.
I forgot all about that, and then a star appeared after I got 100 coins. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot all about this.
Have you even played this game? Jeez. Kind of sounds like you haven't.
You haven't played this game.
No, I have not.
You haven't.
But guys, I will.
We'll wrap this up.
I will play this game. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening to Smack Talk Gaming. We really do appreciate this.
And you.
You
too.
All 5 people. Once again, my name's Krishna, and I put the K in Smack Talk. And joining me today was Mr. Shaun Carolan, who puts the S in Smack Talk Gaming.
In Smack Talk.
And S Club. And if you haven't already, if you're a new viewer, please hit that subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. Leave a like. Right?
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
A comment. Yeah.
And we are going to be putting out weekly videos just on video game news and anything video game that fun that we think our viewers will like. And we're going to try to bring some more personality to these videos a little, and then we're going to pass out right after.
Personality.
But once again, guys, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
And we will talk to you guys next time.
Thank you. Have a good one.